Atatarai, Neo-Neon Everett Pickering. Um, in other words, I said, hello, good day. My name is Everett Pickering in the Southern Pipe language. I am a basket maker by about 25 years ago. And so today I am here at UTTC, taking some classes, just continuing after 20 years. It's an exciting part of my life because I'm a lot older than when I first stopped school 20 years ago. But in the meantime, I picked up doing something here that was rather interesting for me to do. Do you know that, my fellow classmates, that in Nevada, we have some of the oldest baskets in the country as art forms discovered in the dry cave, preserved quite well. And what I would like to share today is that I'm going to demonstrate how to make a small thread for something that are like for these here, and less on the utility baskets. Well, the utility, I size my threads to. It gives very fine texture, visual texture to the basket. So I'll get to that really shortly here and do it real fast. The whole process of basketry is exciting. You go out into nature, you collect the plant, speaking to it and doing things that people back in the past obviously did, and that's how I learned. So I'm a carrier of a tradition that old, and I'm one of few people that actually do what I do. So I just wanted to cut that into one small little part of what I do because, like I said, you gather, you collect, you strip, you process, you're splitting the willow, and if you, like for instance here with this piece here, it's all rolled the way they would have found in the cave, very old style, so this is nothing new that I'm doing. What's exciting is that I'm a carrier that one of my, out of my 4,000 member tribe in Utah, Nevada, I'm the only person doing this right now. There are a few older people, but they don't read a lot, so I'm not sure with that. But the main purpose I wanted to do the sizing is because you see, if you get up here, you look like after class, then you see that I have a very, very small thread use here. And if you notice on this little can, right here, it's a tin can, this common can. The best ones they tell me were the ones the women would kind of take off from the white people that had the nice watches because they're a hard steel or steel. And these are tin cans, so I'm not as rich, nor am I a little, anybody else can do something like that. So I use a tin can to process that. But I did want to point out that I also use a knife to do most of this. And a lot of these here are just pieces of willow that have been rolled in bundles to protect them, because if I just leave them like all loose, they'll break someplace. And one of the first processes, I kind of want to show you that. This is a crucial part of processing willow. Like I said, you get up and plant, you split them, and I wanted to do the whole thing. I just, with 5 minutes, I'm kind of racing with them. But you're splitting them into these, you're taking the inside of that plant, a round little plant about the size of a pencil, splitting it down, and then you're getting these here, you put them in there, take the inners out here. So that's a lot of time by itself for one person to actually do. And here, when I get to this point here, if I have quality willow, and I'm going to do this process here, which is really kind of just amazing when I first started doing it, is because when you're actually taking the skin off, you see how that skin pops right out? This is my brand new shiny material that comes off here. If this is quality willow, high quality willow, this will all come up, and this would have never broke. So I'll always go back to that willow plant. As far as demonstrating, I think that's a pretty neat way to do that. You get those in that state there. And I have a bunch here that I had pre-wet because they didn't want to soak it greatly. It takes about 10 minutes to soak out, to rehydrate. this stuff here I'm going to throw away because it's valuable. So if you notice here, after the bark has been peeled off, it's all, this is a certain, and willow has to be gathered in a certain time of the year, so that it would actually do this. Because if you get a winter willow, when the willow is asleep, and notice how I compared that to a human activity, took the skin off, leaving the wood underneath, the skin like we have skin here. Plants, we refer to them as having arms, that they have little branches, but we have certain a requirement for gathering a willow plant to make thread like this. No last year's growth, no insects, no disease, no anything that makes the arms on here. I want to get a human attribute for a plant, because if you have the arms, doing what I'm going to do now is going to be kind of hard. And if you notice how I have a pocket knife here, one of my tools. The others of my tools, which I'm having a little problem with right now, is your hands, your teeth, and your maybe one other part on your body that you can actually use to split willow, because it's something that's not hard to do, but it's a skill to do. And if you can refer back to that little tin can that I had earlier, this is where I would use, and I wanted to get something this small. If you notice that on this basket here, it has the wide, you see how wide those are? This is how I would use this willow thread down to something that would go into this. There's a, so what you see me here is I'm actually going to size this, and I'm running this thread through there. It leaves all the little fibers in there. This here I actually don't throw away, because I start my baskets with that, because it's a good little fibers. But this little tool here is one of the nicest pieces. And this has only been in use since the 1930s, when baskets out west, all baskets, most tribes make baskets, but my tribe, we make some really nice baskets. I've seen them go up to 71 inches, stitches per inch, which is a lot of stitches. That means that you're making a lot of threads, very small threads, and I barely got there. I have one that I have in my bag that I was using size 15 beads. So to get size 15 onto this, I'd have to be like really half the size of this, or a fourth to do that. So you notice I'm actually just going down from big to small, and I'm getting little fibers off that each time. But this is part of the process of what I do for weaving. And as I mentioned, most people nowadays don't do it. It's a lot of time, a lot of skill. It's taken me 20 years to get to this point here on that basket, where I'm actually satisfied with the work that I produce now. But just keep bringing that down, and it gets smaller and smaller. When it gets to this point, after I've gathered a number of these, I don't just weave with one. I actually process maybe 50, 40, and then I start weaving and piercing these and putting them in the hole. So a lot of times, probably maybe about 80 to 90 hours on just that little basket there. But as far as some of these other forms, I just wanted to touch base with them real fast. In the desert where I'm from, Las Vegas, in that whole area of Nevada and Utah, it's really hot. I don't know if you've ever been there. When it's hot, we actually use things like these here. They're light, they're durable. If you had a water pot, or a pot full of water, and you're at 130 degrees out in Nevada someplace, and it's glass or pottery, and you drop it, that thing's on the ground, you lost your water, you're gonna die probably if you don't find water soon. So that's what's good about the basketry, and they're also light and durable. Woman's hat, and usually I have one because I've sold it. They're big baskets like this, probably about 36 inches by 24 inches, and they're put on the back for women to wear. They're light, they're durable. They usually have a buckskin on the bottom, so you can set them on the ground, you don't break the stitches. Huge amount of time processing. So our people in Nevada, we rely on them as seed gathering plants. Sometimes if you weave something like this shape here into a a really tight weave, it'll hold water and you boil food in there. So the ingeniousness of our people in Nevada is we don't really need a lot of heavy clothes because it doesn't get wet, it doesn't get cold like it does here in North Dakota. Our weather is very mild and we basically still run around naked in the middle of winter, and it's so hot and heavy with heat in summer that actually these are the best things for you because they're light and they're durable, and everything there is all baskets. This is what we relied on. Today we don't do it anymore. Very few people do it, but the cool thing about this is, you know, as a carrier of tradition, I am one of a couple thousand people starting to come back to different parts of the country, but 10,000 years of antiquity, the same thing, same material, being a person that's carrying it into the 21st century and trying to preserve it is challenging. But at any rate, this is what I wanted to present, just this little process there, and hopefully I can go over under it. But, you know, the little material here from all that work and all the work yet to get there, because like I said, this is a lot of time, a lot of hours, but I'd like to thank you for listening, and hopefully that was informative.